How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to my FIFA 17 Fulham career mode. This is episode 28 now, and in the previous episode we defeated Arsenal and we defeated Reading in which was a huge 6 points for us. A couple of things to address before we move on into today's episode. Firstly, there's a new webcam recording software being used. Hopefully, if there's webcam on this video, it's worked, and hopefully it's worked out better than my previous. I was having a lot of issues before recording today. It's actually taken me an hour and a half nearly to finally get under recording since I've started planning on recording, just simply because I couldn't get any software working, which was always fantastic, and I was at a loss with my webcam recorder, but I managed to find something new, so we're testing it out today. The brightness on it doesn't look too great. It's something I need to play around with, but something we'll fix in due course. So let me know what you think on the new webcam style. Also, I don't have a very good webcam, which is why it's not the best anyway, so we'll gloss over that one for now. A couple of comments then to address from the previous episode. Thank you guys for, again, some more transfer suggestions. As we I will be taking them all into account, even though it might not look like I am. But at the moment, we don't have a lot of money, and we need to address the money situation before we do consider signing some players. And to do that, I think I might look at selling Sacco in January, just to bring in some money, because there's a lot of players whose contracts are running out, and I cannot afford their re-signing fees. And if they want a wage increase, I'm not going to be able to afford that either. So Sacco, I think, has to go in January. It hasn't really worked out too well for us anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. And that will go to funding some money to sort some players out. And if then we do have some more money, I will look at getting some more transfers in. Keep your suggestions a bit realistic. Marcus Rashford, who was suggested, it's just not going to happen. I could probably afford to buy him at some point, but his wages are going to be ridiculous because he plays at United. I'm just not going to be able to afford a transfer budget, a transfer fee for him, and some wages. Could potentially get him in on loan, but I just feel like that's a waste of wages. So yeah, but there were some other good suggestions which I will keep an eye on. Of course, there was one other thing just before we do kick on. Someone did suggest using, obviously, a takeover, a financial takeover. Now, whilst I'm not fully inclined to doing that, and you know, I do use that when I'm playing like a personal career mode of mine, and you know, if you guys use it, then fair play to you. But I think it goes from one extreme to another, really. So at the minute, you know, we are quite a smallish club. You know, we're not the richest club in the world. Fulham never have been, probably never will be, and we are struggling with money. If we have a financial takeover, all of a sudden we get so much money that we're suddenly, you know, we're like richer than Chelsea, and we could literally buy any player that we wanted. And I just kind of feel like that's going to defeat the object of the series, really. You know, if I wanted that sort of money and I wanted to be able to buy any player, then I'd do a career mode with Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? But you know, it could happen. Obviously, in real life, Fulham could, you never know, get a financial takeover, so become a really rich club. But it's not something I want to do, just because it goes from one extreme to the other. Obviously, we can balance out, but I just feel like for now we're going to stick with what the game is offering me, and you know, I quite enjoy a bit of struggles. So struggle is how we are going to get on. And speaking about getting on, I've rambled on for far too long. So let's jump into our first game. We are at home. We are away. A nice round trip up to Anfield. We're going to stick with the starting lineup that have just been fantastic for us. Of course, Lansbury now back into the side. Let's jump into it. So here we are then, another Premier League fixture live from Anfield against. You know, this has got a bit of a personal touch to it. I am a Liverpool fan, of course, so this will be an interesting game for us today. But against the top teams, we've been picking up points. You know, we beat Chelsea, we've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten City, we've got a point against Manchester United and Liverpool, who are currently sat down in 10th position, and we are on a good run of form at the moment. A little bit off the pace from Chelsea, but that's not really where we expect to be, and we are currently sat in a Champions League spot, just outside of one, at least in a European spot. Anyway, there is the man at the helm of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. We still remain the best defensive team, only 9 goals conceded this season, on par with Manchester United, Chelsea, West Ham and Crystal Palace only conceding 11. So, and we've been hitting some goals in as well. Of course, Jozabed grabbing himself a hat-trick in the previous episode, which was absolutely fantastic for us. Let's take a quick look at the Liverpool lineup then, see if there are any changes. Adam Bogdan starts in goal, that's interesting. Alexander Armstrong, Massiston, Clavan, Gomez, Medal, what a strange team. Karius, Klein, Wijnaldum, Firmino, Lovren, Lallana, Sturridge all on the bench. And similar to, I think it was the Man United game where they were resting a lot of players, it's happened again. They're resting all of their big names. No real big names on the pitch this time. At least United went with a few big players, but it looks like Liverpool have settled for what is a second-sided team here. Perhaps they're in Europe, perhaps they're having a good run in Europe, and you know, maybe that's one of the reasons. They're probably also still in the Carling Cup as well, or the League Cup, as we should call it now. Of course, not sponsored anymore. So, a standard side for Fulham, but let's just jump straight into it. And against a weakened Liverpool side, we could claim all 3 points here at Anfield. No, Lansbury. Lucas is not playing due to a suspension. Here's a Luco. Cuts it inside. Here's Sobi with the first real effort first real effort of the game here. 22 minutes in. It's Sobi with the shot. Good play from Aluko to hold up. Waits for the run of Sobi. Just doesn't quite catch it right on his left foot, and he fires that one wide. First real threat of the game though, and it's fallen to us, which is always a positive sign. And Sobi here, can he find something? Lansbury, great turn, gets a shot away. I think it was blocked in the end. Kenny wins it back out wide to Lansbury, which accidentally flicks it up. He plays it down to Kenny. Kenny takes the shot away, and hits the corner of the crossbar, and it falls to Clavan. Great opportunity there to take the lead. Second effort of the game, and it's come by us again. And half an hour gone, we should have had a goal here against Liverpool. That's nice. And as Jozabed tries to play the ball down, referee says that's going to be enough and calls then for half-time. So not a bad start. We couldn't break the deadlock. We'd had 2 decent opportunities. Lansbury also nicely getting involved as well. Liverpool came at us a little bit. They had a few chances, but nothing that was really threatening. We were definitely the most positive of the first half. We're going to half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Fulham 0. Couple of half-time results then, or half-time scores. Everton and Manchester City are currently held at a 1-1 draw. Southampton have taken the lead against Leicester. Swansea are 1-up against Spurs, and West Brom and Sunderland are also level at 1-1. No substitutions to be made by myself or by Liverpool, by the looks of things, so same as before. A little bit worrying that we're sort of playing our best team. Liverpool's certainly a weakened team, but they have some big players to bring on the bench. We need to be able to break them down quickly before they start to make the substitutions. Of course we can make substitutions of our own and try and have an impact, but I'm relying on this team to perform here. These sets of players to perform, particularly Jozabed. And that's a lovely ball through to Aluko, and he's going to beat the defender there, surely. And he is, and just as I was saying, Aluko gets played through by Jozabed, and he's done very well to beat off the inexperienced defender. I'm not quite sure who it was who was tracking him back. I really don't know who that number 72. Not sure who that was at all. We'll probably find out in due course. But Aluko is going to be so much better in front of goal there, so much more composed than the centre back, and was easily able to shrug him off, can keep his composure and fire at home. We've taken the lead here, 1-0. And that then is Aluko's only his second goal in the Premier League. That's a bit of a worry. We are into nearly December now, so you know, almost roughly halfway through the season nearly. And for him to only get 2 goals as what he should be our #1 striker really. 2 goals is a little bit worrying, but we do know that the goals have been coming from elsewhere, which is always a positive. Liverpool go to Arsenal next. We of course defeated Arsenal yesterday. Oh, that's a fantastic ball through. And Jozabed is going to get his 4th in 2 games. That's absolutely fantastic. Liverpool just falling to pieces here. As I said, we needed to take control of this game before they started bringing on their firepower. And that's exactly what we've done. 2 goals in quick succession. This time, the man in scoring form, Jozabed. A hat-trick against Reading and a goal to add to his name here at Anfield. His man is on fire at the moment. It's all about the setup here. This time it was from Aluko, returning the favour. I believe it was Jozabed who played Aluko through for the first goal. This time Aluko plays through Jozabed. I'm not sure where the defence is, to be honest, of Liverpool. Adam Bogdan in goal is just not up to standards here. And Jozabed tucks it home, 2-0. And just as you can see there, that's his 5th goal in the Premier League. Interestingly enough, before yesterday's episode, 2 games ago, he'd only scored 1 goal in the Premier League. All of a sudden, he has 5. Still no substitutions by Liverpool. A loss would have been better for us. Medal commits the foul, and with that, we might as well make a substitution of our own. And I think it's going to be a double change here. We're going to bring Parker on for Cabano. Hasn't really got involved in this game, which unfortunately, and Aite can try and get his way back into the team here. He'll replace Sobi. Now here is Bunuel. Can he play a ball forward? He can. And here's Kenny with plenty of space down that wing against the freshman of Nathaniel Klein, but should be able to beat him for strength. Indeed he does. He can actually play a cross in, and Jozabed is there, and this man, he just cannot stop scoring. It's 2 for him here today. It's 3 for Fulham. We're home and dry here. All 3 points coming out of Anfield. Well, let's just take a look at this. It's a fantastic run by Kenny. Klein really should be doing a lot better there. Kenny just holding him off like he's nobody. And Jozabed, who's just in such great form at the minute, such an attacking threat in front of goal. He is not going to be missing those headers. No one was really pressurising him. It was a free header in the end, to be honest with you. He's tucked home his 2nd of the game, and that's now 6 in the Premier League. 5 in 2 matches. Unreal from Jozabed. He's just going to send the ball forward to Aluko. Aluko couldn't quite get it under control. Matteson is going to lose it, though, to Aluko, who's been bullying them all day long. Jozabed's making a run here, and Jozabed... Oh, when he's hit the post, that could have been the hat-trick again. Still a chance here. Parker, what can he do with it? Needs to find someone to pass it to. Does find Aite out wide. Aluko hovering on the edge. We are going to play into Jozabed. He's going to turn Klein. Klein gets the better of him there. Oh, he's won it back though. Still Jozabed. Come on. Can he get a shot away? He can get a shot away. It was a wild shot in the end. Good effort from him. He's just enjoying himself at the minute. Back down to Ings here. Maybe one more chance. That's poor ball. Sigurdsson should be dealing with that. Sigurdsson is going to be dealing with that. Enough to let the referee blow his whistle for full time. So, we are just going through the gears here in the Premier League. And it's another victory under our belt against another big team, Liverpool. They decided to field a weakened side against us, and they got caught for it. Thanks to Jozabed and Aluko mainly. It was Aluko who picked up the first goal by being set up by Jozabed. Jozabed then, Aluko then returns the favour, sets up Jozabed for the second, and a great cross from Kearney allows Jozabed to grab his 2nd of the game. A successful win here and a great trip here from Anfield. We take all 3 points. It's Liverpool 0, Fulham 3. Just having a look at some other results then. City end up beating Everton. Southampton and Leicester do draw. Leicester pulled that one back. Spurs how to the draw against Swansea, and Sunderland managed to grab all 3 points against West Brom. They're having a good play as well. We'll jump into a quick training session. As we advance forward then, we are now into December. And Everton are coming up next. So staying up at Merseyside, assuming it is a home game, potentially an away game, potentially not, probably is a home game, although. Still plenty of offers coming in for an international job, not interested in looking at that. Let's have a look at where Everton game is being held. And hopefully the good run of form can continue, and we'll take another 3 points here. We are at home to Everton this time, so this time we'll invite Merseyside down to us. So very similar to a few episodes ago, we played the red and blue half of Manchester. In one episode, we're now playing the red and blue half of Merseyside. Of course, we took 4 points in Manchester, 3 points so far, and just going to stick with the same team lineup. You can't change it really. Let's play match. So then, another Premier League fixture in store for us today. We're live from Craven Cottage for Fulham against Everton. I'm really hoping this time that Everton do decide to put their big boys out against us. They must have seen what we can do, as other teams have tripped up on that. The captain is Ashley Williams, so that's a good start for them, I suppose. Maybe not so much for us, but it's nice to be playing against the big boys. We can actually prove that we are a real force in this competition, as the teams line up in the wrong place. But we're up to 3rd now, and Sunderland, with that win against West Bromwich Albion last week, they've taken 2nd place as well, so going well there. Sunderland, but we're not here to talk about Sunderland, although EA likes to pick out irrelevant pieces of information. We like that. From here, we are here, of course, to talk about Fulham and Everton. No changes to our lineups. Gertsen, who has just been fantastic for us, of course, stays at the back. Those are the substitutes. Jozabed looking to get some more goals. 5 in 2 is absolutely fantastic for us. 6 in the Premier League so far. Will he make it 7 against Everton? It does look like Everton are playing a decently strength side. We'll have a proper look at their lineup in just a moment. There, of course, is Ronald Koeman, the former Southampton manager, now at the helm of Everton, doing good things at Everton in IRL as well. So I say that, Williams, James McCarthy, Gerard Deulofeu, Morales, Barkley, and on the bench you've got the likes of Vertonghen, interesting, Leighton Baines, Cleverley, some big names on there. They've signed, it looks like they signed Vertonghen from Tottenham. That would be a big signing. Vertonghen and Ashley Williams as a centre-back pairing could be big for us, but they've decided to just go with the one for now. So we'll take advantage of that again, and already Aluko's in here. And he finds Cabano, and he finds Jozabed, and Jozabed looks like he's still in scoring form here. Morales. What can he do? Oh, he can play it in, and Everton do get their shot away. Good save by Donnarumma. First time he's really been called into action recently. It's not the best of defending. There was a man out wide there. I'm not quite sure who it was, but ends up getting the shot away. Number 27. I think that might have been Tom Cleverley, who did get the shot away in the end. Oh, beautiful whip ball. Wow, beautiful whip ball from Ross Barkley, and it's their striker. Not quite too sure of his name. Not going to try and pronounce his name. Who gets a header in at the near post and goes up front of the corner. An explosive 10 minutes here. Barkley, this time it's Deulofeu with the corner. Might have been Deulofeu last time as well, to be fair. We've got a man down in the box. I think the referee's going to stop the play here. He is. That's not good. Who is that that's gone down? It's going to be Sobi that's gone down. Okay. It could have been a lot worse. It's still not great. But Aite was out injured and lost his place in the team because Sobi put in some solid shifts. Sobi looks like he could now be out for a couple of weeks. So Aite's finally got his chance back in the team. And just as I was looking at moving Saka on, we might actually need him to be a backup winger now that that he is out, of course. No, it's closed down by Odoi nicely. Gets it for a throw in. Still time here. Referee hasn't said that's it yet, but he could do in a minute. Although Barkley's got himself into the box here. Barkley takes a shot. It's bounced off the goalkeeper. It's rebounded off the post, and Kramaric, I believe his name is, apologies if I've pronounced that wrong, is able to head home. Good play from Barkley. Good save by Donnarumma, but it bounced up and hit the crossbar, and it just landed. He had two men on him. Should have been dealing with that a lot better. But it just landed here to Kramaric, and for the first time in a while, we've definitely been the second best team here, is what I was trying to say. So Kramaric, yeah, that's his 10th goal in the Premier League. So in good scoring form for Fulham, and just as those 4 minutes were coming to an end, Everton, have been able to take the lead, and that is the end of the half. Then a little bit disappointed, but like I said, no real chances created by either sides. And to be quite honest, I think Everton probably did outplay us in that match. They looked dangerous going forward. It looked a little bit wonky going backwards or in defence, but we couldn't capitalise on that. We didn't really create any decent chances. Jozabed had a few shots, but nothing major. And a little bit of luck went their way thanks to the shot from Barkley, which deflected back off the crossbar and tucked home by striker Kramaric. Everton lead at half-time then. Fulham 0, Everton 1. Okay, we're going to jump into the second half. Callum Connolly comes off the field for Everton. Idrissa Gueye, who's a fantastic player, not going to lie, has come on. So Everton technically getting this one right here, and I think we're going to struggle to get anything from this. I will be looking at, of course, making my own substitutions, but I want to leave it just a little bit, just to try and give the best sort of possible impact of freshness when they come on. Try and run this Everton team round a little bit more, and try and tire them out a little bit. Oh, we need to deal with this. We haven't dealt with it. Oh, Ream has dealt with it. I do apologise there for not commentating. The defender's still not been cleared. We need to do something with this. Okay, he's offside. That's fine. So, yeah, apologies there. A little bit of a sneezing fit, and then a message popped up on my screen to detect high CPU usage, and I was just wanting to check that everything was still running okay, which it was. And as I took my eye off the game, Everton nearly scored, but somehow we've got away with that one. We go away to Southampton next. Will it be off the back of a defeat though? So far, it looks that way. What a ball that is. Jozabed, he can't miss these. Surely, he doesn't. And his scoring form continues. That man, Jozabed, is being absolutely fantastic for us. I said earlier on, I think it was in the second to previous episode, that he had been fire for us in the Championship. Hadn't really got in his stride in the Premier League. But look at that. Fantastic. Just heads it down to give him the control, to nod it forward as well. Uses his pace to beat everybody. And he's grabbed himself a 6th goal here in 3 games. And we're level, 1-1. And that then, the 62nd minute, his now 7th goal in the Premier League. And his run continues and continues. We probably do deserve a point in theory, so... Ghana. Oh, it's into Barkley. Oh, that could have won it, but thanks to the big man there in the goal, Donnarumma saves it. We've got 4 minutes to go. I'm going to now bring Jozabed out of the game. And I'm going to throw Cabano forward. And we're going to bring on Parker, just to give him a little bit of game time. Only 4 minutes to go, but we'll just solid up the midfield a little bit. Ross Barkley almost runs out of play. Does well to keep it on. Still Barkley. Took too long over it though, really. And when he played it to Cleverley, referee says that that is going to be full time. So, a share of the sport here. Probably the best result all round. Everton looked like the better team, to be quite honest. They took an early lead on the stroke of half time, but we fought back in the second half, and of course it was that man again, Jozabed, who took home to level it for us. He did have 3 shots and 1 goal, and as you can see there, Sobey picking himself up an injury, looks in a little bit of discomfort, but happy to take a point here against Everton. It's finished full time, Fulham 1, Everton 1. So then Chelsea and West Ham, Spurs and West Brom are yet to play in Sunday's later kickoffs. But we are now into December. And we head further and further closer to the January transfer, where we need to start raising some money. Sobey's only going to be out for 9 days. So I'll tell you what, we don't think we'll need to play around with the starting lineup. I think we'll rest him for the next game. Make sure he's fully recovered. But he should be fine after that. So that's going to be the end of today's episode. Another 4 points picked up, which is not too bad for us. And as you can see, it's lifted us up into 2nd place. Chelsea remain top of the table. They're 5 points clear of us now on 30 points. And us, Spurs and Sunderland all on 25 points. So just been done on goal differences. Thanks to that low conceding rate, we are ahead of them all on goal difference, but very, very close. United creep up to 5th place then. Just 1 point off us. Manchester City there with 23 points, just outside a European place. West Ham are in 7th, Palace in 8th, Liverpool in 9th, and Stoke City in 10th. West Brom, Arsenal, Leicester, Watford, Everton, Burnley, Swansea in the bottom half of the Premier League, but not quite in relegation. And because those spots belong to the same 3 as last time, Aston Villa there, Southampton, and Reading still with only 1 win. Which they only had again at the end of the last episode. So Reading really struggling here, and I think it could be all over for Reading's Premier League run. But that's going to be the end of today's episode. Another good episode for us. 4 points, absolutely fantastic, and we're looking like we could be contending for a Champions League spot, which at the start of the season I'd have bitten your hand off if you'd have offered me that. So happy days. Anyway, that's going to be the end of today's video. Be sure to drop a like on it if you did enjoy. Why not subscribe as well if you're new around here, and until next time, goodbye.